Ibi ayé kọjú sí ọ̀rẹ́ wa, rédíò àfẹ́jú láyé ń tẹ̀lé báyìí.
Life no get duplicate.
Na so ẹ̀mí ò láàárọ̀ o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Tẹ́ jẹ́jẹ́ o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o. Make you take am easy.
Na so.
Radio Afinju says if you drink, don't drive. If you drive, don't drink.
Tẹ́ jẹ́jẹ́ o.
Make you take am easy.
Na so.
This awareness is brought to you by Radio Afinju. When heavy rain begin fall and plenty water full everywhere, dey alert my people, shine your eyes as e dey happen for other places. E fit reach your side.
Má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú àgbàrá, gbé ilẹ̀ rẹ fún àwọn ọkọ̀ akólẹ̀.
No go put yourself for danger dey waka for flooded roads.
Gbọ́ o, ǹjẹ́ tó bá rí ẹnikẹ́ni tó hùwà tó lòdì sí òfin àmójútó ìdọ̀tí àti ẹ̀gbin, ẹ fi tó àwọn aláṣẹ létí. Report to the nearest authorities.
Má ṣe da ìdọ̀tí sójú àgbàrá.
Ìlera lọ́rọ̀. This awareness is brought to you by Radio Afinju.
Hey there, Super Kids! Are you ready for a ride of fun and learning? Get ready to blast off on Kids Arena with Auntie Pearl and crew on Radio Afinju every Saturday at 10 to 11 a.m. Listen to stories that will tickle your bones, games that will blow your mind, and music that will make you dance like no one's watching. There's also lots of surprises and gifts to be won. So gather your friends, turn up the volume, let's have fun and make awesome memories together on Kids Arena with Auntie Pearl and crew. Only on Radio Afinju. Yeah!
Wherever you're listening or watching Radio Afinju, the time is 3 p.m.
First, a look at the highlights. Tinubu swears in Justice Kekeriekun as CJN. Manhunt after 18 people killed in South Africa mass shooting. 30 persons killed in one county after hurricane swamps North Carolina. A very good afternoon. Here is the world news on Radio Afinju. My name is Stella. Aderanti, the news in detail. The new Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekeriekun, has been sworn in by President Bola Tinubu. Tinubu presided over Kekeriekun's swearing in at the Council Chambers Presidential Villa in Abuja. Last week, the Senate confirmed Kekeriekun as the new CJN. This followed her screening on the floor of the Upper Legislative Chamber. Tinubu had named her the new acting CJN following the retirement of her predecessor, Justice Olukoyede Ariwola. Ahead of the October 5th, 2024 local government election in Rivers State, an Abuja-based court has barred the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from releasing the 2023 voters' register to the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission. This followed an order of a high court in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, that ordered RISIAC to conduct the forthcoming local government elections in the state using the 2023 voters' register. Justice I. Igwe of the High Court gave the order on September 4th, 2024, in a case instituted by the Action People's Party, APP, against the state electoral umpire, the Rivers State government, and the governor of Rivers State. Justice Peter Lifu of the Federal High Court, Abuja, stopped INEC from releasing the voters' register to the Electoral Commission to conduct the October 5th, 2024 local government elections in the state. The court also barred the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, and the Department of the State Service, DSS, from providing security. Justice Lever issued the order against INEC while delivering judgment in a suit brought before him by the All Progressives Congress, APC. The judge held that the Rivers State Electoral Commission was wrong in fixing the October 5th date for the conduct of a poll into the 23 local governments when all relevant laws guiding the election had not been complied with. Among others, the judge held that the failure of Rivers electoral body violated the provision of the local government election conduct law by not publishing the mandatory 90 days notice before fixing the date. Justice Peter Leaf also held that the update and revision of voters register ought to have been concluded before an election date conduct by legally and validity fixed in law. The judge therefore ordered INEC not to make the certified voter register available to RISIAC until the law has been fully complied with. Justice Peter Leaf also barred RISIAC from accepting any voter register from INEC or using it for the October 5th local government poll. Meanwhile, organizers of the October 1st protests against hardship in the country have insisted they would proceed with the showdown despite kicks by the federal government and warning by the Nigerian police force. Our former presidential candidate and activist, who is one of the leaders of a planned October 1st protest, Omoyele Sowore, gave an update on his social media platform X, insisting on the action and saying it would be held across the country. According to him, the nationwide protests will hold at the Eagle Square, Abuja. While given the nature of the protests, Sowore said protests will be peaceful, adding that hunger pangs have spread across the country, hence the need for Nigerians to troop out nationwide in protest. Showore's insistence comes after the Nigerian police force said they had not been notified of any protests. The Benue State government has sealed a Benedictine Order of Peace and Unity Academy Foundation, Neiman Nakodi, over failure to meet approved standards. Director General, Bureau of Education, Quality Assurance, BEQA, Turner Francis, who led the team, said the school was operating in an uncompleted hotel building. Francis stated that the school had no curriculum, lesson plan, scheme of work, qualified teachers, and was operating 3 different schools within the uncompleted building. He said that Benedictine Order Academy was not registered and the government did not approve its existence. He equally warned that the government would not allow any substandard school to exist in the state. The director said VEQA has identified 2,416 illegal schools in the state and has already issued all the necessary notices to the proprietors to either meet the required standard or shut down. Gang members of slain bandit kingpin Kachala Nagala have launched an ambush on their rival Kachala Meishai and his followers. The incident occurred between the villages of Buroyi and Buzaya near Sangarewa in Benue district, Maru local government area of Zamfara state. This was made known by a Lake Chad Basin counterterrorism and insurgency expert Zagazola Makama in a post on his X handle. Makama said Shai and 12 of his men were killed. He stated that the bandits' kingpin was a key lieutenant of a notorious bandit leader Kachala Yellow May Bali Bali. He added that the escalating violence between the groups have continued to claim lives of the bandits, including their leaders. Away from Nigeria, 18 people have been killed in a mass shooting in a remote South African town with a manhunt underway to find the perpetrators. Police say 2 homesteads on the same street in the town of Lusikisiki in the Eastern Cape were targeted, with 12 women and 1 man killed in one location and 3 women and 1 man at a second location. The South Africa Police Service said the 18th victim died in hospital on Sunday. Police Minister Senzo Mchuno said the motive for the shootings was unknown, but in a statement, police said that apart from the death of the 18th person, there were no other new developments and no arrests have been made so far. Officials said the victims were relatives and neighbors in Yati village, Ngobozona, in Lusikisi. It was reported that victims had been gathered at the houses to prepare to attend a traditional mourning ceremony for a mother and daughter who were murdered a year ago. They had been packing goods and presents, including furniture, for the event when the attack occurred. In Asia, 3 days after being elected as the new leader of Japan's ruling party, incoming Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba has announced plans for a snap election on 27th October. Ishiba, 67 years old, replaced outgoing Prime Minister Fumio Kishida as chief of the Liberal Democratic Party (LDP) following a tight race that saw him securing more votes than any of the other 8 candidates. Since the LDP has a parliamentary majority, Ishiba will be approved as Prime Minister by Parliament on Tuesday. The election, which is set to take place more than a year before it is due, will decide which party controls Parliament's lower house. Earlier in the day, Ishiba began picking government and party officials who will contest the upcoming general election with him, including 2 influential former prime ministers, Taro Aso as advisor and Yoshihide Suga as vice president. Ishiba also asked Shinjiro Koizumi, a popular rival in Friday's leadership race who enjoys a favorable standing with the Japanese public, to serve as election strategy chief. However, Sani Takeichi, the hardline female conservative that Ishiba closely beat in the runoff on Friday's poll, was not included in Ishiba's picks. After winning Friday's leadership election, Ishiba said he would revitalize Japan's economy, address security threats, and clean up the LDP, whose approval ratings have plummeted in recent months amidst public scandals and internal conflicts. Still in Asia, Suga from K-pop boy band BTS has been fined $11,500 for driving an electric scooter while intoxicated. According to reports, the singer, whose real name is Min Yoongi, was indicted in August after police found him trying to get up after falling off the scooter near his Seoul home and discovered he was drunk. His blood alcohol level was 0.227%, far exceeding the 0.08% threshold, quoting police. The rapper, who also had his license revoked, apologized in August, saying he had driven home in Seoul thinking it was a close distance. Suga faced backlash in the days that followed, with some asking him to leave BTS. K-pop idols in South Korea are generally expected to project a squeaky clean image, though in this case many of Suga's fans had also rallied in his defense. The 31-year-old is currently serving as a social service agent in the military, as he had been ruled unfit for regular combat duty. In the United Kingdom, the UK is about to stop producing any electricity from burning coal, ending its 142-year reliance on the fossil fuel. The country's last coal power station at Ratcliffe-on-Soar finishes operations after running since 1967. This marks a major milestone in the country's ambitions to reduce its contribution to climate change. Coal is the dirtiest fossil fuel, producing the most greenhouse gases when burnt. Minister for Energy Michael Shanks said they owe generations a debt of gratitude as a country. The UK was the birthplace of coal power, and from tomorrow it becomes the first major economy to give it up. The first coal-fired power station in the world, the Holborn Viaduct Power Station, was built in 1882 in London by the inventor Thomas Edison, bringing light to the streets of the capital. Austria's far-right Freedom Party, FPO, has opened the door to a new era. Still in the UK, Austria's far-right Freedom Party has opened the door to a new era. Its leader, Herbert Kilk, told supporters as they celebrated an unprecedented election victory. Kikel's party won 29.2% of the vote, according to provisional results, almost 3 points ahead of the Conservative People's Party on 26.5%, but far short of a majority. Kikel's victory is only the latest in a string of far-right election successes in Europe, and he praised voters for their optimism, courage and trust in delivering a piece of history. The FPO has been in coalition before, but the second-place OVP has refused to take part in a government led by Kikel. Kikel's main rival, incumbent Chancellor Karl Nehammer of the OVP, has said it is impossible to form a government with someone who adores conspiracy theories. There are a high turnout of 74.9% as Austrian voters took part in an election dominated by the twin issues of migration and asylum, as well as flagging economy and the war in Ukraine. From the Americas comes a report that at least 30 people have died and scores more are unaccounted for in just one county in North Carolina after Hurricane Helen tore across the state and caused catastrophic flooding, a clear image of the damage the storm inflicted after barreling through Florida and Georgia emerged throughout, with Buncombe County appearing to be the hardest hit area. At least 116 people have died nationwide since the hurricane made landfall in Florida on Thursday, and that figure is expected to rise as officials reach more areas. Helen began as a hurricane, the most powerful on record to hit Florida's Big Bend and move north to Georgia, the Carolinas, and Tennessee. The majority of deaths have been confirmed in North and South Carolina, where Helene landed as a tropical storm. Hillary Clinton has told reporters Joe Biden was right to stand aside in the U.S. presidential election after his stumbling debate performance against Donald Trump earlier this year. She also said Democrats had not been effective in telling Trump supporters what they were doing to address their economic concerns. In 2016, the former U.S. Secretary of State was unexpectedly defeated by Trump, who now faces Democratic candidate Kamala Harris in November's election, which polls suggest is extremely tight. She said she saw Joe Biden a week before the debate and saw no reason then why he should step down, but that all changed. Clinton also said the future of democracy is at stake in this election and called on Harris to defeat Donald Trump to break the fever that he has caused in the political system. Trump has rejected the notion that he is a threat and said the real threat comes from the Democratic Party. The election, Clinton said, would have repercussions far beyond the U.S., including whether or not they continue supporting Ukraine. In the Middle East, Hezbollah Deputy Chief Naim Qassem has pledged that the Lebanese armed group is ready to meet an Israeli ground offensive despite the killing of its leader and many senior commanders. Qassem said Israel has not hit Hezbollah's military capabilities as he delivered a message of defiance in a public address. Despite the setbacks suffered during the bombardment of Lebanon in recent days, he insisted that the Iran-linked armed group will continue to fight. Qassem asserted Hezbollah's operations have continued at the same place and more since the killing of leader Hassan Nasrallah on Friday, adding that Hezbollah will install a new leadership soon via internal mechanisms. He said Hezbollah will continue with its main goals despite Israel's aim of creating chaos with aggression and massacres against civilians in Lebanon, underlining the role of the U.S., which he called a partner with Israel through unlimited military support culturally, politically, and financially. Lebanon has witnessed another bloody 24 hours as relentless Israeli bombardment killed at least 105 people and injured 359 others. According to health officials, air attacks were reported across Lebanon on Sunday and overnight into Monday. The targets included a hit in the heart of the capital, Beirut, for the first time in years, signaling further potential escalation towards an all-out war. While Israel said it attacked dozens of Hezbollah targets, Lebanese officials said the bombardment struck homes and buildings in southern Lebanon, the Bakia Valley, Baalbek Hamel Governorate, and the southern suburbs of Beirut. Lebanese politicians described the assault as a massacre. In the early hours of today, an Israeli strike was reported in the Kola Bridge area of central Beirut. Now talking sports, France midfielder Antoine Griezmann has announced his retirement from international football, ending his 10-year career with the national team. Griezmann, who played a crucial role in France's triumphant run at the FIFA World Cup 2018, called time on his journey with the Le Bleu in an emotional social media post. Griezmann was one of France's most important players over the past decade and scored a goal in the team's 2018 World Cup final win over Croatia in Moscow. The 33-year-old, who struggled at this year's Euro Championship, was one of the key elements in the 2018 and 2022 World Cup campaigns as France took the title in Russia and finished runners-up in Qatar. Nicknamed Grisou, He was a favorite among his teammates and fans and was the top scorer at Euro 2016 when France reached the final, only to be beaten by Portugal after extra time at the Stade de France. Griezmann won 137 caps for France and imposed himself as a versatile player in Didier Deschamps' midfielder. Before we go, here again are the highlights. The new Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, has been sworn in by President Bola Tinubu. Elsewhere, 18 people have been killed in a mass shooting in a remote South African town, with a manhunt underway to find the perpetrators. And from the Americas, at least 30 people have died in